All right, everyone. Sorry for that interruption there. But here we are, and we have a lot to cover, so I'm very excited for those who are going to be tuning in. There is much to dive right in here to the reading. So before I chose to go live, I did put some effort into tuning into the energies that I felt were needing to be spoken of before the actual live reading itself. And so before I even go any further with the actual readings themselves, I do want to just tap into what was coming through even before I chose to go live. So first and foremost, I would like to say that here are a couple of themes that are going to play out.
Take a deep breath in through your nose.
And I love listening to Dr. Joseph Dispenza.
Hold it for 10 seconds.
He's amazing. I listen to all of his meditations. They really help you tap in to your own true self and, higher consciousness. So
Exhale.
don't mind him in the background, guys. That is on purpose. Okay, so taking just the information that has come through, all right, first. Here are the immediate messages that are going to present themselves.
Exhale.
And I will elaborate further throughout the reading, but I do want to at least mention them on the front end. That way, when I harness them later, they make more sense. Who or what defines the contents of my life? Just think about that for just a moment here. Who or what defines the contents of your life? Okay.
Exhale.
What is my mission in life? Okay, just think about it. You don't have to have an immediate answer. I just want these thoughts to be in the subconscious while we go through the reading for the video today. In what kinds of things am I brilliant in? Okay.
In through your nose.
Again, you don't have to have the answers immediately.
Out through your mouth.
But it is important to just ponder the information that's coming through. That way, when the reading goes through here, you may be able to link and connect the dots. Okay? And the other insight that's coming through, who am I when I am alone? This, I think, is very deep because
let your body go numb.
It's always easy to be somebody when we know we're being watched, right? I think that we can all relate to that experience where when there's a crowd or a group, or we're like in a family event or function, or maybe just with like strangers, it is so easy to be somebody else in those moments, in those experiences. But it is only when we are really alone, right? In our own space, in our comfort zone, behind the scenes, in the dark, where we feel the most comfortable and naked and familiar, that we can really ask ourselves this question. And this question is, who am I when I am alone? Something to consider. And like I said, I will go through the four main themes of the discussion, but I wanted to at least read out loud those basics as we dive in deeper, okay? Now, as I also was meditating upon the reading before we got started, a few of the things came through that are to share. Number one, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love, okay? this means that we are able to let go of seeing people from old viewpoints, old perspectives that are limiting us to see them
Allow
from new
your
lights.
awareness to move from
In
particle
life, we are very fast to categorize and label people that we've known for so long
from the material to the immaterial,
into personas that we once known them to fit in.
no space.
And over time, we all evolve. We're going to always all grow and evolve and become more. In that process,
To the unknown,
oftentimes we don't want to see someone that we've known for so long from new eyes.
your mind returning to
We want to
the known,
always see them from how we've always known them, but they may grow
places
through different
you
various
know
stages
now,
of life.
to your body, to your habits,
And so this card is saying that
your
we
emotions.
must look at the world with a new lens, a new perspective. We must see people with a new vision, a new experience. We cannot trap everybody in these old ways that we've known them to be.
Surrender
We
your
must give them another
consciousness back
chance.
to
We
the
must give
void of
ourselves the chance to see from a new
No one,
lens.
nobody, no thing, nowhere, in no
And
time.
next, energy flows where my
Unfold your
intention
awareness back
goes.
into the immaterial realm.
So wherever you are finding yourself focused on or fixated on, wherever you find yourself
And the more you become
in
aware
a moment, in a
possibility,
position where you cannot escape or you feel you are in stagnation, whatever experience you find yourself in at this point, okay, again, this is the general reading for the basics to set the tone of the energy, and then I can go into deeper pieces. But again, just to set the tone, energy flows where my intention goes. So remember that wherever you are fixating your energy on, whether it's a position that you want to attain, or a process that you want to master, or a skill or a talent, or maybe it is an achievement that you're after, or it could be a relationship that you want to really take to the next level, or whatever you may find, whether it's your health and wellness or your family and well-being. Again, wherever your energy is flowing, right, your intention is going to go. So make sure that you choose wisely where you're going to put your effort into. Make sure that you choose wisely where you do really want your experience to really go into. All right? When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract the support from the universe. What this is really saying here to set the tone is also reminding yourself that when you follow your bliss, when you follow your personal joy, your happiness, the things that bring you alive the most, when you're able to follow that peace within yourself that rings true for you, that only you know, no one else knows but you. When you follow that joy, that blissful experience, that is when you know that you are going to immediately attract the support from the universe. The universe wants to join you on that journey. They're always there. The universe is always there to help present you and keep you on that path. But you can only be on that path properly when you are actually in that neutral and that natural state of flow, that ebb and flow, that bliss, that joy, that happiness, those things that bring you alive. Okay? The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment the universe can truly get to work. Okay. So the moment that you can really surrender, that you don't control how things will go down, even if you have a master plan, you can be the biggest planner, you can have created the most amazing blueprint for your own self, but only if you surrender to a higher power, right? The outcome is in the hands of a higher power that you don't necessarily control. You can have your say, you can have your contribution to how you'd like it to be, but when you can surrender to the higher power that already exists, then, only then, can you really expect the universe to go to work on your behalf. And I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Okay, here we go. All right. So again, it is very important that once you've decided to take the path of your higher self, of your true truth, about your destiny, about who you're supposed to be in this world, when you can decide, I choose my happiness, my growth, my perseverance, my personal development, I choose the best for me. When you can reach that point of truth where nothing will stand in between you and your truth, you and your personal higher self and your ascension path, when you can choose that, everything will fall into place. You will grow. You will follow the natural path of ascension. Things will begin to ebb and flow in your way. The tides and the streams will be in your favor, in your direction. Again, when you're on that right path, and the presence of love will always cast out fear. Okay? I think it's pretty, common sense, but I still will elaborate on it. So, whenever you have fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, when you have unwavering feelings that maybe make you feel unsettled, whatever you are going through in life, if you believe there is beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond this box that we have learned to be within, if you can trust and accept that people that are beyond, maybe the word people isn't the best word, but if you can believe and accept that there is something beyond you that you understand that truly does have your best interest at hand, if you can believe in love and accept love and not go for fear, worry, doubt, procrastination, limiting beliefs, outdated beliefs, if you can believe in that, you will see that your path will continue to be cleared, and you'll see more nuggets along the path, along the journey. There will be more and more evidence that you are already on the right path. All right? Okay. So that was the initial tone for the reading. I hope that so far you are following my wavelength. I will shuffle the cards and begin to read what comes through. And along the path of me, going through the cards, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat or the comments. That way I can follow through. I am also on my other phone here, guys. It might be a little bit lagged, but if True Sapphire is still there, I am willing to help you with your reading. So please let me know in the chat if you're there, and I'm happy to go through that with you guys, okay? So True Sapphire, if you're still there, let me know, and I can help you with the reading. I do like to make sure that we're specific and intentional. And I will begin to shuffle the cards.
It's time to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of
Well, either I'd like to know if you're there, True Sapphire. I see the Sun card already for you. So, again, a lot of these readings, in my personal experience, for me personally, as I've done this many times, are what I would call intuitive, psychic, and real, raw and real. And a lot of times when you get readings from people, they are doing their best to tap in, and that's fine as well. But I do believe there are people who are maybe gifted with more abilities or more enhanced abilities, and I just think that when you can find those people who are able to tap into those realms of higher consciousness, of deeper awareness, when you can find those individuals that resonate with you, that actually can give you that insight, that wisdom, it's best to really leverage that, and I don't mean that in a negative way, I mean that in a positive way. Leverage what you need to retain from that, or ask the right questions. That way you can get what you need to understand from that reading, from that person, because it's a two-way street. People think that you give them an answer or a result, but they need to ask the right question. They have to ask the right question at the right time with the right people. That way they can be on that wavelength energetically and receive the information they are meant to receive. So I wanted to say that so far. I'd like to see, okay, so right now, I'm not sure if True Sapphire is still here. If she or he is, great, let me know. In the meanwhile, we do have one of the people in the chat named Ben. Ben, if you're there, thank you. You've said wonderful stream, you're following along. The stream is a bit lagging, 10 to 20 seconds. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for that. I do not know why. I can try to see if I can adjust that. Let me know if it still lags. What I will do is make sure this one, the main live one, is not on the internet.
Come out of your resting state.
Okay.
And change your energy.
So anyone available who is joining us, who has a question,
Come on.
who is interested, in hearing some truth regarding whatever question that is burning and pertinent to them, please feel free to leave your question in the chat. That way I can help tap and tune in and bring you some clarity and insight. So I will begin to shuffle all of my decks that I will be using for this experience, this reading in general. And if you have a question, please leave it very specific. What I have found is that many readers in general, not against any readers, but I do not do readings for any monetary gain. That's just not my place that I want to place my energy. A lot of times what I notice is that they take the power away from the individual or the viewer or the person who's paying. One rule of thumb that I've always taken to heart: if the reader or the person who has claimed insight and information and value, if they do not give you their power, if they in their information are, they must be willing to give the power back to the listener or the viewer. That has always been something that I believe resonates and shows really authenticity and genuine insight of that person's true capabilities. I find it not in alignment when a reader doesn't give the power back to the person. And I'm not sure if this makes sense for everybody, but I just want to say that out loud. Just because it's easy to just take advice from anybody, but I want people who are viewing me and are participating in my journey of life and this experience, I want them to have their own power back too. I want you to have your power. I want you to learn from my own experiences and take my own wisdom, but I want it for you to have your own power. That way you're empowered to go on this life and not feel that you are at the mercy of anybody else, because that wouldn't make any sense. Humanity is not meant to be following a handful of gurus. That makes no sense to me. And maybe at one point in the past it did, but that is no longer the case. And so I want for people to understand that the one way to discern truth from as you get information is to see, is that person giving you back your own power, or are they making you feel like you have to come back to them for answers? I know it sounds simple, but I think it was something I wanted to say out loud, okay? And back to the chat here, I do see Ben with a question. And Ben's question is, what is the best way to sustain positive energy within you and your loved ones? Well, I really, really, really love this question, because I feel that this is a really important question that many people face every day. And so I feel honored to actually answer this. I don't need cards to answer this question personally. So I will answer it from my heart and my soul. Make sure this is love. What is the best way to sustain positive energy with you, within yourself, and your loved ones? So, what I'd like to say about this question here is, in life, we're all born into this world. We are all born into this experience that we never, in some level, decided to be part of. We did, yes, we did, from behind, and we're given the family that we're given. We are given the experience, the parents, the ethnicity, the gender, the siblings or lack of siblings. We're given these experiences that we, in one degree, had no control over, but we did. And I will do my best to explain that in just a moment here. So, in one level, we enter this human incarnation, right? And we're given, you're born in, like, for example, USA, whatever state you're born in, okay? And you have XYZ parents, you're born into this gender, this ethnicity, okay. And it may take a long time to answer this, but I really want it to be real and authentic and really something you can take away, not just to be let me just give him an answer and move forward. I really want the real information to come through. So life was never meant to be this easy, cookie cutter piece experience. We came in here with various agendas, whether we remember them or not. We may have forgotten a lot of them, but we did come in here with an agenda. We may have forgotten, but at one point, sometimes we wake up to the agendas, okay? And sometimes it takes people only 20 years, 10 years. Sometimes it takes people 50 years, 60 years. Sometimes they never wake up. So there's no timeline that's appropriate when you're going to realize the agenda. But whenever that point comes for you, whenever that awakening is going to be coming through your experience, where you just cannot deny, you know that you want more for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for the experience, and you just can't really understand how come it is the way this is and why. You must hold yourself within truth, because every human being, their journey is different. So you can have family, friends, and their journey is going to be completely different. It doesn't matter if they had the same upbringing or the same set of circumstances. That's irrelevant, okay? So when you can understand that you did choose this journey, you did choose this life, these parents, this ethnicity, this gender, you did choose these trials, these tribulations that you would have to face, right? When you can understand and respect that you were part of this choosing, when you can realize that, then you can hold more grace, more compassion, more ability to accept that people who we love and respect are going to be where they are. And we must hold that space for them, because they're going to be on their wavelength, and we cannot control, we cannot dictate how fast or how slow they evolve as human beings. But what we can do is respect that their journey may be slower than our journey, right? That's just one way to, think about these concepts, because in life, everyone's on their own journey at different times. So the best way to really honor yourself, honor your own soul's journey and your own evolution, because I think it was Ben who asked the question, what is the best way to sustain positive energy within yourself and your loved ones? The best way to sustain energy within yourself and your loved ones is to accept that you may not be on their wavelength where they're at. You may be higher or even lower. It doesn't really matter. But to really understand that the journey is going to be different for every human being. The journey is going to be on different experience levels, because that is how it's supposed to be. When you can understand that truth and really, really learn that not just your family and loved ones and friends, but the whole world is operating on these same concepts. When you can take that information in, you are now more empowered. You are now more in control. You have more dissertation to decide. You know what? I do see it that way. I can be a better person, a bigger person, a more compassionate person, a mature person, a more consciously aware person. You can become and be more if you're willing to see it from those eyes, from that lens. Not everyone wants to choose that lens. And let me tell you, a lot of people will fight for the old lens. A lot of people will fight for old beliefs because they're not willing to give those up. And you can't force them to give those beliefs up. You cannot do that. You have to meet them on their wavelength, wherever that wavelength may be for them. So if they're not quite where you are, it's your choice to see, if I want this relationship, I will meet them at their wavelength because that's what you want to do. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. Again, everyone has free will and they get to operate in the world that we're all in. But I hope this helps Ben out here answer the question about what is the best way to sustain positive energy within you and your loved ones. So Ben, please let me know in the comments, in the chat here, if I've helped you with that question. I would love your feedback. And then I'll go to the chat and see who else is asking questions. All right, let's see. All right, we have the next question from, what is the best way to accept myself without stupid makeup? I'm so over so many people wearing excessive makeup, myself included. How can I channel inner spirit and break this silly trend in my head? All right. Okay, I have a really good answer for you. And this is my own experience from my own, position. So let's take this into steps. First question you're asking is, what is the best way to accept myself without makeup? Okay. I believe the journey to just self is really going to be about deciding. It's a choice that one must make within themselves. It's a choice that only a human being can make for their own self, their own soul. Do they want to know themselves beyond the exterior pieces, right? Beyond makeup, clothes, filters, anything else, right? Beyond an image, beyond a status, a title, beyond a career, beyond the house you live in. When one can really decide, okay, that I want to know myself within and shed the ego and pull back all the layers over and over, and that journey is very deep. So if you're not ready to go the distance, I do not recommend you to go that distance. It is a process that will shatter yourself, but shattering yourself for brand new truth to be coming through, to be revealed, okay? So it's a journey for sure that one must be aware that when they join and decide to accept and go after uncovering themselves and pull all their egoic layers out, they may have no identity, okay? That's happened. I've gone through that experience my own self. When you're willing to say, you know what, I've had enough of the superficiality, I need to know who I am at a core level, and I'm willing at all costs to go the distance, I'm willing to do it all. When you get to that point, and you know it's 100%, you'll not go back, because once you really go this direction, there is no turning back, because a whole new world opens up that's nothing like this world. All right. When you decide that journey, this experience ceases to exist. Not immediately, but you will notice, you will find yourself balancing a very thin line of this world and that world, this world and that world. And so you've got to be mentally and emotionally prepared to handle the truth that will be revealed, okay? If you can do that, and if you really want that, absolutely choose that route, because that is the only route of growth. People who are sucked into makeup and filters and all these things, when they just choose that, or if they choose only social media and they're only choosing these pieces that highlight all their best moments, okay, they are living a fake world. The real world is difficult. And the more consciously aware you become, the harder that world really is. People think it's the opposite. They think, oh, if you're more consciously and spiritually aware, they always think, well, you know what? It's easier because you don't have to face it. No, it's harder because you have to live in both worlds and operate in both worlds and face the fact that everyone who's fake and everyone who's superficial or less dense or less mature gets to live in this world that you're still part of. But yet, the harder people who choose to go the distance, who want the better path of life, they gotta choose to still live in this world, but also take the route of the harder path, and that's even harder. So, but it's the most liberating path. So don't be afraid the path is harder. It is a very hard path. So I don't want to mistake anybody. That path is very hard, but it is the most liberating. You feel freedom. You feel vision, and now you have a real path. Now you have a goal, a direction that actually is real. It's not fake. You have a real direction. Your real self has revealed yourself where you're going. That is emotionally, spiritually, and physically liberating. So I hope I answer that question. And let me go back to the other people who are in here. Let's see what they said here. All right. Ben says, that was beautiful, thank you. Understanding and humbling yourself, then guiding those around you, and understanding they'll come around when their time is right. Yes, absolutely. So, and I just want to make one more statement about there, Ben, because it's very true. It is so true. What the hell is this? Sorry, guys. Hold on, let me pause that shit. Sorry. It is very true. It's so easy for us to want our family and our friends to be in our wavelength, right? We want that. That's a natural human element. So don't make yourself feel guilty or bad because you want them to understand you or because you want to understand them. Don't feel bad about that, but remove that piece and move to the next position. The next position is sometimes they won't understand you, and sometimes you won't understand them, and that's okay because we all have different paths to ascension. We all have different realities we must go through, and we must still hold compassion even if we can't relate to the level that we'd like to relate on. It doesn't make them less than, it doesn't make you more than, it just means it is what it is. And if we can embrace that process, we can really accomplish more and actually here. And then the other person says, okay, thank you. Something I've been mulling over in my head lately is acceptance. One thing I gain or sympathy. All right. I have my opinion on that. And let me ask people in the chat, if you've joined this chat, thank you for being here. This is a very intuitive, psychic chat, reading, energetic. Please don't hesitate to ask your question in the chat and I will read your question as I get through it. And I do answer them in the orders they come through. So in the meantime, I will go back to the first person, or I'm sorry, the one that I'm just answering here. Okay, so she asks about they're mulling over in their mind acceptance, and one thing they don't understand is suicide. Do you think it should be discouraged by shame or sympathy? All right, so I will give you my personal opinion, and that is that. Let me answer the first part first. Let me go back here. Go back to the first part here. You're first asking about acceptance. It's on your mind. You are mulling over in your mind acceptance. Who do you want to be accepted by? Sometimes we naturally think human beings that we want acceptance from the outputting my video, then you know I'm going to speak on the wavelength that I'm speaking on. And I do believe that every human being, regardless of their level of consciousness, can hear the wavelength and resonate. If you are thinking about acceptance, right? We always naturally think of acceptance from the external world, the outside world. But in reality, we haven't accepted ourselves for who we are inside. When was the last time you thought about that you accept who you are for your traits, for your skills? It doesn't matter if you don't have the best skill sets or the best upbringing, your family experience, or the best everything. It is about finding who you really are. It's about choosing to say, you know what, I am my person. You're not a person, like you're not a name. You're a soul in this body, then you're here. You're here for a very important reason, and you may have forgotten, but I'm going to help you remember your own truth, because I believe in giving the power back to the person, okay? So don't forget, being accepted is what we think about in the external world. But when you can accept yourself at all costs, you become accepted by the external world, because it's already an embracing experience. It becomes you. So you don't even notice the barrier anymore. When you can go in yourself and say, I'm not perfect. I have flaws. I have weaknesses. I have strengths too. I'm not perfect, but you know what? I'm me. And all I can do is accept me for me. When I can accept me for me, even with all my things, right? All my adversity, all my challenges, when I can still sit here and accept me for me with no judgment, with no criticism, when you can get to that point, nothing else matters for acceptance. So I hope that that part of your question is being answered. And the next part of your question is, sorry, let's go back here. The next part of your question is, you don't understand suicide, and do you think, it says, do you think it should be discouraged by shame or sympathy? Okay. And then you say here that, how should we treat suicide in society? I think it should be considered shameful because of the harm it causes friend and family. What do you think? Okay. All right, so I'm going to answer this question, and I'm going to go to Bridget next. Okay, so Bridget, bear with us. All right. Okay, so to finish this last part of the question about suicide, I think the best way that I can answer this, again, this is my personal opinion, so it might not always be something that everybody resonates with, and I'm okay with that, because I'm like secure with where I believe, with my beliefs. So I never want to position my beliefs for everyone. I just want to make sure that I'm being fair in the disclosure. So when it comes to suicide, I believe that people harming themselves, killing themselves or someone else, they feel that is the only, they unfortunately believe that escaping this reality by committing suicide, they sometimes unfortunately think that like not have to be in pain or suffer anymore, okay? Unfortunately, that's far from the truth. They signed up for this life. Whether they choose to acknowledge this or not, or believe this idea, they chose to be here. They chose to be the child, the mother, the parent, the sibling, the friend. They chose to be here. And it is an honor to be a human being, even though we might not think that sometimes. People who choose suicide will have to come back and repeat the lessons in a more difficult manner. So you don't escape death. You may escape that moment of death, but death is not like escapable, because this entire incarnation that we live through, we are here to learn lessons. We are here to be part of a journey that we signed up for. Our soul chose to go through certain lessons in order to become and evolve. And if you think that the pain that we're going through is the answer, taking that route of suicide, it really only prolongs your existence. And I don't mean just this lifetime. I mean, like, it will prolong your karmic learning. Just because you escape death here by committing suicide, it only means that you are gonna have the easy way out. But unfortunately, I disagree. I think it's the harder way out. It's the way out where people, it's the coward way out. I don't call people who choose that a coward, but I do believe it's a cowardly way out because it's not escapable. You will come back again and again until you learn those lessons, and each time you come back, that lesson gets harder and harder. So you are only, choosing your, let's make sure I get this right, because I'm not willing to like repeat any fucking lesson. I just want to get through this life the best way I can and just be at karmic peace. I don't want anything lagging. I want to just grow and ascend and not have to come back here. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to go to the next person. And here we go. So Bridget asks, okay, 2 days ago while drawing, I started writing a short message that made sense, but I wasn't thinking or even seeing what I was writing. My mom said she saw a spirit beside me. Why did this happen? Okay, that's a very normal question, Bridget. I don't want you to feel fearful of that. There's no reason for you to feel scared. I promise you, there are so many beautiful angelic spirits that are always with us. There are guardian angels, sometimes there are our spirit guides, and sometimes they're the ascended masters, right? Sometimes they're even family that crossed over that just wants to be with you in the process. So I wouldn't think too far into it if you are not feeling, if you're just drawing, okay? So, but only you will know how you feel, so I don't want to tell you that you should or shouldn't be afraid of that. There are spirits, don't get me wrong, that are negative, that do want to bring you into lower vibrational experiences. So by no means am I saying that all energies are good. I just want to let you know that you have to really go into the moment when you're drawing. And how did you feel? Did you feel a negative feeling? Did you feel a positive feeling? How did you feel? These are questions that you must ask yourself in the moment, right? And maybe you don't feel okay to ask yourself in the moment, but you could always ask yourself a little bit later. Maybe not in that moment. Maybe it's too scary because the experience is scary, but maybe the presence wasn't scary, if that makes any sense. Sometimes when you wake up, you can ask yourself, man, that was kind of scary because the experience was so different. It was an unknown feeling, it was unfamiliar, so you felt scared, which is very natural. But then you have the next question to ask yourself is, how did I feel? As you look back at that moment, the night before, the next day, you ask yourself, well, did you feel like, was there somebody there to harm you? How did you feel? And so you get better over time by asking yourself those same questions, and you'll figure yourself out along the way. Nobody will know. I just gave you a few examples and mechanisms how you can use discernment in those moments. And let me hear you. Okay, so that was your first question. You said that you were scared about the holding my hand. And Bridget, if you're there, I'm happy to elaborate further. And I hear the other lady who I was speaking to, she says, I agree with you somewhat. I'd like to chat more on the subject if you would sometime. Absolutely. I'm willing to chat more about that subject, about suicide, if you are interested. Absolutely, I can. So yes, absolutely. And so just to answer Bridget's question here, and give her some, resolution there. She was saying that a few minutes ago that she felt somebody holding her hand, that she was alone, and she felt sadness and started to cry without a reason. I felt a warm hug, and that made you feel sadder. Okay, and then while laying in my bed, I hear the sound of papers, and it reminded me of what I wrote with the help of the spirit. Okay, well, Bridget. And all right, well, I hope you come back, and we'll chat more about the suicide topic and other topics. So don't forget to stay connected with me. All right, so Bridget, I don't think the negative thing at all that you felt that you're writing things and you feel that you have an experience where you're writing or you're drawing or you're typing or you're reading or you're thinking, right? And it is from some type of energetic coming from the other side. Okay, that's a really normal thing that happens. I know that sometimes it's very like not talked about a lot, but it's very common, and I feel that people just don't talk about it because they don't understand it. But when you can find somebody who does understand what those things are, then you can just feel much better about what's happening to yourself. Okay, so having like automatic writing, drawing, or experiences are very common and very normal. So I want you to know that you're not alone and that it's not a very weird thing. You shouldn't feel sad or cry. It's okay initially if you do, because I think whatever your emotions are what they are. But when you can understand that it is just the connection to the other side, and not just, I mean, like by death, I mean like the higher side, like the ascended masters, the spirit guides, they are trying to give you hints and clues to help you along your journey. You may have asked questions in the past, and they are there to help guide you. So think about them as like these, like they're giving you nuggets and golden tips, right? Like a little trail, you gotta follow the trail, right? So I hope that helps you. You shouldn't feel scared unless you actually do feel scared. That's a different question. I'm happy to answer that one, but I don't think that's your question. So I want to give you the truth and the most honesty in that response, okay? So Bridget, let me know if I've helped you out. If you have any more questions, Bridget, just ask. All right, back to Ben. Ben has asked, Ben, if you're there, let me know in the chat. In the meantime, I will respond to your question that you did leave here. Ben asks, how do you cleanse now? I do like to make sure that I'm talking to people while they're in the chat. And so the one way that I do make sure that I am keeping myself in alignment, like to just get some basic sage. The grocery stores usually sell it. They usually sell it. If they don't sell it dried, then I get it like where I can dry it myself. There's easy ways to do that, so it's not very complicated. If you need more tips on how to get the sage, I'm happy to share with you, but there's very easy ways. You either buy it already dried, or if you hit the napkin, you roll it up, you place it like somewhere like and let it sit there for like maybe a couple days, 5 days. It will dry itself out like cream color, then it's ready. But you can always buy it already dried out. But I'm just giving you examples because sometimes you can't just find it like that. So you just have sage, and all you do, it's so simple, I promise you. People make it bigger, but it's not a bigger deal. All you do is you light the sage with a lighter, all right? And you want to cleanse your experience, your aura, your body. You just lower legs. You want to take the sage around like areas that you spend a lot of time in. So if say you're in your home, I don't know if you have your own house, with sage the areas I'm really present in a lot. That is the way that you. Number 2, you want to say things out loud while you're doing the sage. And something as simple as this. It's not a big deal, so I want to make it very simple. Sometimes people overcomplicate things. It's so simple. Or your cell phone or your door do not have your best interest at stake. It's very simple. You declare out loud with your words, with your mouth, your words, and as you have the sage, okay, and you say very simply, I only allow the ascended masters, the spirit guides, whoever that you believe in that has your best interest, right? I only believe in the highest level benevolent energies to come into my space and to be present. And anything below or lower than that level is not welcomed here. It is not welcomed here. It never is welcomed here. And I do not allow that experience or those energies to be in my presence at all. Okay? I know I probably sound a little intense there, but like you really do have to be very vocal. It may not make sense because like, okay, well, I'm talking to the air, the energy. No, you are declaring, you are not participating, and you don't condone, you don't allow, you don't accept any of those energies in your experience at all. All right, and so I hope that helps, Ben. All right, All right, if you have more questions, let me know. All right. Well, I think that was that for you, Ben. Let me know if there are further details I can help you with, but that I believe I answered your question. And then Bridget, if you have anything else further, let me know. Yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, make sure my phone is there. Yeah, it's going there. Hold on. I will do a reading. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Let me know. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So, you're able to ask any question you'd like. Again, like I said. Okay. And then Ben says, I'll grow some sage in my garden this spring. Yes, Ben, do that, please. Oh my God, if I can bring you my plant and show you my plant, I would, but it's outside. I'm not gonna move my table here. But I grow my own sage, and it's the most healing, therapeutic, and positive thing that you can do for yourself. So even if you don't actually sage on a regular basis, just growing the sage in your backyard is so healing that you will be like rid of even like your whole exterior, house and experience is already like protected, because sage is such a protection. It's a protector. It's a plant. It's a natural element. It's from the earth. Advantage of the elements that we already have and use them. That's what I'm doing. So, let's see here. Bridget says, what I wrote was about me and my boyfriend. It was just words with weird. Michael prefers Bridget. Marriage, happiness. Michael cold. Bridget says love. Am I saying that correctly? Let me know. I'm doing my best here. What I wrote was about me and my boyfriend. It was just words with weird calligraphy, but understandable. I wrote, Michael prefers Bridget, marriage, happiness. Michael cold, Bridget says love. And then she says, I kind of understand the message and some of the words he already told me. Okay. Well, if you do already feel that you know the message, then I think that you know the message, because I cannot give you information you already know. However, if you have a particular question, I am happy to pull some cards. So anybody in the chat who wants some cards pulled, please speak up in the chat and I will. All right, we're gonna get some readings going on here. It could be any questions from family, friends, life experience, work, career, personal development, finances, career. Like I said, it's unlimited. You have the power to ask whatever you'd like. Ooh, wow. All right. And then I will help bring the information that you are supposed to be listening in and getting. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Ben says, can you please ask if I was meant to be with my roommate? Now, Ben, do you mean romantically, or do you mean like just in conjunction with, like, just that's you're supposed to be your roommate? I need to know that part. If it's a romantic thing, I need to know. That way the answers come better for you, okay? But let me know. But whoever is in the chat here with us right now, we've got some good information. Something's coming through. So whoever is in this chat, this is what's already being prefaced, okay? So this is a good sign, guys. All right, so let's see what Ben has to ask. Ben says, romantically, okay. Can we know, or can you ask if I was meant to be with my roommate romantically? Okay. Of course, the universe always will supply you with your own truth, okay? So like I've always tried to express in all my readings that you already have the answer, but I will help bring you clues tips in pieces to help bring you more clarity. That is the best way that any person who's doing a reading can guide you, because nobody will have the answers, but you have the answers, and they can bring you tips and clues and pieces and nuggets that can help bring you further clarity. So I hope that number one, that explains some part of this. All right, but we're gonna bring some clarity for you. All right, Ben? Okay, Ben. All right, Ben, here is what's come through, okay? I'm going to be very fair and honest here. Number one, I see a couple things. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me start with the wands energy. So we have wands, Son of Wands. Wands is going to be the air energy. It's air, okay? We've got Two of Swords here, okay? Two of Swords. There might be some like strife, okay? We also have the Fool card here, which says, and the Fool sounds like a very bad card, but it's not it's a very good card. People always, they misinterpret the cards. The Fool card is a very good card. The Fool card means you're willing to take the journey of the unknown, and that's important, because if you believe you have all the answers in life, you'll never get anywhere bigger or better, because you just think you have all the answers. So the Fool card is somebody who's willing and ready to say, I'm gonna go on that journey. You have that card of the journey, right? The unknown, with air energy and swords. Swords is showing me Two of Swords, so I'm seeing some strife. I am seeing some crossover. So is there something about a crossover or a strife or a fight or an ex? Is there something like that? Either an ex, like a physical like ex, or maybe there's an ex person, like an ex lover that's trying to create strife. I don't know the answer. So tell me in the chat if this is real and if this information is resonating. Let me know, Ben. And in the meantime, for your clarity, because like I said, I'm a very intuitive and psychic reader, and you will not find this kind of people anywhere. People claim to be this and that, but let me tell you, I do this when I have the full energy to do this, because I am choosing to do this. I don't do this like for money. That's just not my interest. Okay. I have a gift, but I will do it at my. So thank you for clarifying and validating that, yes, what I'm saying is accurate. If you have any further questions, Ben, I would love to know more and see how I can help you through this. My ex is involved big time. So Ben's ex is involving, right? And I felt this like letter X. Like I did X, and I felt it was an X, and I was like, no, it's an X person maybe. I don't know. I just put your pieces together. I can only bring you the hints and the clues. So all right, Ben, if you have further questions on that topic, you'll have to let me know with more specific questions. All right, the question in the comments, or sorry, in the chat, because I do best when I have specific questions. And most people who are readers, they want you to ask general questions because they want to give you general answers. I'm not opposed to that, but like, because I'm very on point, I just prefer you ask the straightforward question. That way I can bring you the straightforward answer, and then we just like knock it out. As my boyfriend and me were distant these days. He is cold, he ignores me, and I'd like to know what's going on in our relationship. All right, Bridget, let me shuffle. So Bridget is saying, my boyfriend and me were distant. These days he's cold, he's ignoring me, and I'd like to know what's going on in our relationship. Bridget says, we are in a long distant relationship, and he said he wanted to visit me these days, but he's working extra hours. Is he planning to come to my country? All right. So you have a couple questions in here, Bridget. So let me see what we can get here, okay? I'll do my best to give you all the answers. I'm gonna do my best to help you. The first part is, me and my boyfriend are distant. He's cold, he's ignoring me. I'd like to know what's going on. Let's focus there first, okay? Let's take it one step at a time. I don't know, we're gonna find out together, okay? Let's find out. We are gonna find out. Whew. We are gonna find out. Why is he being distant and cold? And what is going on in this relationship? Why? Okay, that one wants to come out. I feel it. So let's go. That's what we got. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's tap in here. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. My boyfriend and me were distant. He's acting cold. He's ignoring me. I'd like to know what's going on. We're in a long distance relationship, and he says I'm taking the first question first. That's what I was focusing on first. Okay, guys. So I believe this person is like an emperor, because that's the card here. And an emperor means the personality of somebody who is very certain of their life, or very much somebody who's, when they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay? They're very much in control. They're very much in charge. And they're very much expected to be respected. They are going to be somebody who expects you to respect them. Whether they're lying to you or not, they still expect that level of respect. Okay? I'm not sure that makes any sense, but that's what I want to say about that person, or what's coming through here. We also have the Mother of Wands. Okay. You know, we have nurture, we have air energy, we have experience. We have somebody who's in control and in power as one persona. The other persona is somebody who's holding on and trying to figure something out. Okay. Then we also have the Star card. Okay. Now, I don't know who the Star card represents in this position. All right. So we'll have to pull another card for that, because I'm not sure. But so far I have two personalities, and I have the Star. But I need to know a little bit of the Chariot, Son of Pentacles. Okay, this Star is gonna be representing this Emperor. Okay, the person who's in control, who's in charge. They've got the Emperor position. They have the Chariot. So in their position, they have this magnetic energy, this superstar experience, or this charismatic way of being. They have this charisma, this persona, undeniable, and they have the Chariot until we don't know when. Okay. That is going to be their position. Ride this experience. This is going to be their personality, all right? So you want to believe and perceive about the wavelength, whether you want to be part of it or not. And so I hope, Bridget, that is making sense to you, all right? I'd like your feedback. I really would. It helps me know if I'm on point or not, all right? If you have more questions about that, let me know. Let me know, and I'll get clarity here, okay? But that is what came through for you, Bridget. All right, and then they were, okay, so should you enter a relationship with the roommates? And then Ben, let me know if you're there, and then Bridget, also let me know if that information made sense to you, okay? All right. So Ben is asking, should he enter the relationship with the roommate? Specifically, will I find happiness with her? All right. Let's focus on that. Will I find happiness with her? I think you'll decide if you want to enter it or not, right, Ben? Like, you're going to figure that out. You don't need me to answer that question for you. I think the real question was your second question, which was, will you find happiness with her? So let's go there. Let's go with these now. I'll pull you this and this, okay, Ben? Jesus. Sorry. I don't really say those kind of words. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so Ben, if you're there, here we go. Here is what came through when I asked that question for you. All right. Ben asks, should I enter this relationship with his roommate romantically? And he's asking more specifically, will he find happiness with her? So here is what's going to come through, okay? What needs to be cleared for happiness really to be fulfilled, there has to be an end of a manipulation. Somebody is manipulating somebody here with the strings, okay? Maybe not literally, but somebody is trying to have this control over this other person. That has to die and end. There has to be reestablished and joy to come through, and then that can be nurtured further. But it cannot come through if it's not willing to give up this controlling position, or maybe they're manipulating. Maybe they're saying, well, because you did this, now I just can't forgive this. And so because of that, now I'm going to hold you under these unreasonable circumstances and hold you to standards that will never be achieved, because there's no way to ever be in any relationship, and that is a way of manipulation, and that needs to cease. That needs to be complete and be complete. That way you can have newfound integrity, and then at that point you can get joy and happiness, and you can nurture that further. So please, Ben, let me know if that really resonated with your question. And let's go back to Bridget. Bridget says, it does make sense. Thank you very much. Well, you are very welcome, Bridget. I'm glad that my reading to you made sense. I would like to hear from Ben if that information was resonating. Okay, and Ben says here, you truly have a gift. Every card hit my soul. Aw. Thank you, Ben, for your honesty and your feedback. It means a lot to me because I don't do readings for just anybody, and I don't do these kind of readings all the time. Because for me personally, I like to just place my personal energy where I want it, right? On my forward path. And so I'm so glad that my information that I'm bringing to the surface is real, authentic, raw, and it does resonate. I really appreciate that comment. I was thinking about you as I pulled this card, Ben, and this is what came through. I will always tell you about it. Child design. So what I think that means for you, Ben, here is this. You need to go back to what makes you the most happy, even without a person, okay? Yes, in life, we want to have partners and relationships. We all want to have, communion, unity and experience human connection. So I understand that. But when you lose yourself in something else, then you lose parts of you. And I think this card is saying to you in your soul that it's time to go back to what makes you happy, not what makes anybody else happy, and not what should make you happy, but go back to what actually, in fact, does bring you alive, what does bring you joy. You want to choose your time and find the hobbies, even if it's small moments of time, to really tune into yourself. Love yourself. When you can love yourself at all levels and know who you now are as a bigger person. I don't know how old you are. I don't need to know. But at whatever stage you are, at whatever part of your life you are, when you can decide to go back to your who you are, who you've always been, who you've known yourself to be, when you can choose to discover those pieces that really did bring you alive at one point, when you can do that, your heart will sing and dance, and you will line up with all these opportunities. sorry, I almost knocked my candle down. With all these opportunities, they're going to present themselves because now you are being your true self. And now whoever does meet you on the wavelength is going to be more compatible, more in alignment with you. There's not going to be any forcing of ways. There's not going to need to be like convincing and manipulating or saying, we got to have this. And it's like your heart sings and dances and you can be the child in and out. So I don't know, but I wanted you to hear that message because that's what came through when I was thinking about your name through that. All right, guys. Yeah. And let's see what it says here. You said, okay, Ben says, yes, you are right. I haven't been focusing on myself. Awesome, because it's never like, too much time has never gone by. You can be in your 50s, you can be any part of life, and it's always the right time to always, get your own self back to center. Because in life, we go through the motions where, in the early life, we're just trying to like survive, okay, we got to go through life and figure it out, right? So it's understandable that we miss some buckets because that's what's going to happen. We're just human beings. That's natural. You can't blame yourself for that or feel guilty about it. That's just what takes place. And then, you're in your career path, if you're beginning it or it doesn't matter where you're at in it. You sometimes lose yourself in the process of just constantly becoming, right? And over, and then we get like lost a little bit. We're not completely lost. You lose yourself a little bit and you bring yourself back to center each time. Hence these guiding forces, sorry, this ring's getting too tight now. These moments of time when they present themselves, they're for a reason. There's a process, there's a plan in place is important for you to hear. The message is real. And if you do believe, we have a lot of really awesome videos on my channel. I really, truly do. I have not put any plug in this entire video. I do things from my heart, my soul, and I never like to people on to things they don't want to know about. But I do believe that you might benefit from hearing my other videos. I try to title them properly. That way you know what you're going to get in the video. So, check it out. I don't know. I want you to know that. I do go live when I want to, when I choose to. But I always speak in my videos from my heart, from my soul, from my authentic place. And I want to bring the truth and the wisdom that I have to the world. That's what I want to do when I can. So I hope that helps, Ben. All right. Well, if anybody has a question, please let me know. I am so happy. It could be a question about anything, like life, career. It could be about your journey of life. It could be about a lot of things. There's nothing off limits. Really, there isn't. So let me know. Don't be shy. All my videos spiritual. I would say 80% are spiritual. What I've learned in my life through this YouTube experience is that I am who I am, and so naturally I am a business person, which you would not expect this for somebody who's business. I'm just being fair. And so for the longest time, I didn't want to bring the two together because I felt like, how can these two random opposite positions come together? And then I had to break the ice for myself and say, well, they are, because I'm still me. I'm one person. Just because I'm a business person, I'm a finance major, and I have that part of me, and I love business, I do, doesn't mean I can't have these aspects and still intertwine them. And so on my channel, you'll see a lot of spiritual type videos. I wouldn't call them spiritual. I would just call them like consciousness related, about the world, humanity, where we're going as a human being, as a soul, right? And then I also talk about some business topics too. So I do my best to be my own self, even if it means I'm bringing two weird, like opposite positions together. I embrace that that is still me. And so on my channel, you may you may find two other pieces, but at the end of the day, you'll still see through my videos that it's me, and I still share my wisdom and my insight and my perspective. So let me know if that makes sense. And let's see here. And Ben says, I actually discovered you a few years ago in the Next News Network. Yeah. Okay, chat. And this stream popped up tonight and I was surprised. Oh my God, that is so awesome to hear that. Yes, I do know Next News Networks. I have not watched them for a long time. And it was a purposeful choice. I loved that channel and other channels similar to that channel. I had to take a break from the reality of the negativity, and I hope that makes sense, because I love what they're fighting for along with other channels. I completely accept, and I'm on board with their agenda. At the same time, I had to just really decide to just take a step back from that, because it was taking a toll on myself energetically. It didn't that I didn't believe in their agenda. It just for me personally. Sorry, I only got my chair here. There's certain fights we have to fight at certain times of life, and certain parts of our journey require us to participate in certain ways, in certain levels. And for me, at least, I just had to completely just disengage from a lot of those channels that I really followed as a true person. Just because, and maybe they're not supposed to. That probably wasn't their agenda. Their agenda is probably to bring truth, and I believe in truth. I absolutely believe in truth 100%. But respect all ways of truth, and their truth can be different. We can intertwine on some levels, and that's cool. I accept that too. But gosh, it was just getting so much that I just wasn't even enjoying the process, listening in. I stopped watching all types of media news. Even I was a very diehard certain channels I'm not going to mention just because I don't like to make it political. But it doesn't mean I don't have those same beliefs. It just means that I'm just not going to place my energy there, because they don't deserve my energy. My energy is reserved for me, for where I'm going to place it in a healthy position to help better me. If I can't better me, how can I help stand behind any ideology or program or philosophy? You know what I'm saying? That is how we got connected. And I'm so glad that my live stream popped up for you. Awesome. As I drink my Sprite. See, usually I have my beer, but see, yeah, the universe told me Sprite. I have to put it on my live stream because I'm never going to forget. I'm drinking Sprite, not beer. Sprite. Laugh. Okay, let's see what you said. Okay, so neither have you. That's awesome. And then you said, you do the same thing? Yes, see, we're on the same wavelength. Too much negativity. Sometimes it brings you down. You're like, well, you don't mind truth if it's gonna still position the betterment of the world. But see, sometimes some truth becomes a negative truth. And wait a minute, I didn't sign up to be taken down. I did sign up to be part of the cause and to move forward, but I did not sign up to be taken and suck my energy out of. No, I did not. So I agree with that. And you said you cut on mainstream media. Yeah. And you started watching and started reading and watching streams. Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that is your process and the route you've taken. I'm so proud, not even knowing you, because it is so easy for so many people to not make those choices. It's so easy for people to want to just stay in what they're going to fight for, even if it means they're going to kill themselves. I'm being literal here, but essentially they're killing their soul at some level. They're going to be willing to go to the end of time to stand for a cause that has never brought them anything. And I'm not saying it to be so literal, but I think that you get my drift. So I'm so glad, Ben. My soda. Okay. Well, I'm going to pull a couple cards for the energy here. So whoever is in the chat, we're going to see what we got. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at what is in store for us, guys. So we are here for the highest order of ourselves. We are here to get the truth, the good truth, and the benevolent processes. Oh, this looks good already. I can't believe this. I'm getting warm and fuzzy already. Ooh, let's see what wants to come through. Wow. All right. All right, here's what I am seeing through these basic cards, okay? So the first card that came through here, guys, is Ace of Fire. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, and change in your life right now. So if you're here in the live, this is something to consider that's coming through, because I believe, number one, that when I do these readings, I'm tapping into the people who are listening in live, okay? That is how I work. I just can't help it. That's just how my energy works. When I tap in, I just tap into what is present and what's allowing myself to tap into. So for those who are here, that have been here, that is what I'm getting, guys, okay? Ace of Fire, an exciting opportunity, career advancement, change in your life is right now happening, okay? With that, I'm also getting Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. That's another amazing fucking card. Sorry, I don't usually swear, but yes. So fire, listening in and you actually have more insight into the zodiac signs. Fire is the element of either Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, okay? So if you are a Leo, Sag, or Aries, you're definitely coming through. And if you're not, that's okay, because it's still representing the fire, the passion, the creativity, and the energy is coming in strong. If you are one of those, please let me know. I'd love to know what's happening there. Okay. And we've got the World card. This is Archangel Michael, okay, the World card. A job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. Yes, that's awesome. This is a major arcana card, by the way. This is a very good card. These are the cards you want to get in any reading, okay? And then we've got the Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, make time for those around you. Take a very sensible approach. Deal with your challenges in a kind, understanding manner. All right. That's pretty cool. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is fire sign, energy. I'm seeing passion, creativity, magnetic. I'm seeing Aries, Sag, Leo. If you're there, here you are, coming right through the reading. I cannot make this stuff up, guys. I just cannot. Sorry. So when I say that I read the energy on the live, I legitimate mean I read the energy. So if we've got those people in the house, please let me know. Back to the chat. Let's see. Ben says it's getting hot, and that you are an Aries. No way. If you're an Aries, tell me again. I don't believe this. Write it twice. You are an Aries. I need to hear you write that twice for me. It's awesome. That is so fucking awesome. All right. Okay, you did write it twice. I'm an Aries. Okay, see? It's coming through. All right. So we also had the World card, all right? The World card, which means that the future's in your hands. The world's on your side. The universe has your back. What you want, you can get if you take the right steps. Don't take the wrong steps. You'll still have the universe on your back to support you, but you'll want to make the right steps. Take the right steps because you're being guided by the universe. They're here, they're with you, they're always with you, they never left, and you know that. Don't forget that. But listen to the voice, they're always there in your corner, in the background, muffling in your ear. They're always guiding you. Sometimes we are too busy forging our way, but don't forget they're always there if you want to hear them. All right. And we've got the Earth card, the Queen of Earth, right? Like that nurturing energy. It's going to be warm and creative and thoughtful, and it's going to help us along this journey. We need that Earth, that mother energy, that nurturing energy to really take us all the way, because that lonely road can be very scary. It absolutely can be. It's supposed to be scary. The unknown is always scary. And don't forget, it's your journey. We've got to go with some passion, some creativity, some fire. We need that energy. The Aries has that Mars energy, that forging, that fortitude, that distance, that experience, that relentless drive. We have the Leo sun. The Leo's got that sun, that magnetism, that full brightness, that creativity, that child life. And we have the Sagittarius fire with the unlimited abundance, that open-endedness, that unlimited potential and creativity. It's all gonna come right through. So if you're the fire sign, that is totally right here. Yeah. Let's see what else comes through. I just get to have fun. This is how I have fun. I always do this for my own self all the time, which I like, but then I get bored and lonely. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm reading myself, which I know my own answers. So it's just nice to help some people out, because if you have those gifts, it just is nice. That's why I do it when I want to do it, and that's why I decided tonight, let's do this live. Come on, let's make it interesting and fun and vibrant. See what we got. Ooh, okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're gonna go here and here. Let's see what's gonna come through for us, guys. Let's see. All right, here we go. So let's see what we got here. I always suggest to put your questions in the comments or the chat, but if you don't want to, it's fine. Information will still come through. That's how this works. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got emotion. We have the Queen of Cups, which usually is a water sign here. So water sign would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? We have the Swords, which is, I don't want to get it wrong, hold on. I always get air and swords confused, hold on. Or wands and swords, hold on. Wait, that's the same thing. Let's double check, hold on. Let's double check. Sorry guys, was there a delay?
Okay.